Hey everybody at Fretboard Journal, my name's Steve Poltz, and this is a song I wrote in the 90s with a good friend of mine, and she lives in Telluride now. Her name's Jewel, and we wrote this in Mexico, and it goes like this. I hear the clock, it's 6 a.m. I feel so far from where I've been. I got my eggs, I got my pancakes too. Got my maple syrup, everything but you. I break the yolks, make a smiley face. I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots off of the mirror, don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore, 'cause dreams last for so long. Even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I called my ma, but she was out for a walk. I consoled a cup of coffee, but it didn't want to talk. Picked up the paper, it was more bad news. More hearts being broken, people being used. Put on my coat in the pouring rain. I saw a movie, but it wasn't the same. It was happy, man, I was sad. It made me miss you, oh so bad, 'cause dreams last for so long. Even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. I go about my business and I'm doing fine. Besides, what would you say if I had you on the line? Same old story, not much to say. Hearts are broken every day. Oh yeah. So when I wrote this with Jewel, we were in Mexico at a place called Bahia de San Luis Gonzaga, and we ended up on a drug bust with some Mexican federales who took us out ostensibly to go whale watching, but then they gave us bulletproof vests and handed us guns and caught these drug smugglers. I couldn't believe it. And this is back in the 90s, before you could buy weed at the Apple store. This is when you'd get your butt thrown in jail. And there was tons of weed. And if you type into the old search engine Jewel drug bust photos, you'll see us with all these cops around us, and we're holding guns and drinking beers, and all the weed shoved into a black Suburban behind us. And one of the lead cops in Mexico said it was the largest drug bust they'd had in years. And I said, "What are you guys gonna do?" And they said, "We're gonna have a party." And the dude actually gave me a kilo of the weed, which was nutso magutso. He told me I could take one, and Jewel made me give it away to an old woman who was making some spaghetti sauce, and she poured it in whole kilo into the spaghetti sauce for a Mormon youth group that was coming down for a spaghetti feed from Salt Lake City, Utah. It was insane. I woke up at midnight and all these Mormon missionaries were playing naked frisbee. I went back to the hotel room and told Jewel, and she said, "Go back to sleep. Just get some sleep." So I did, and when I woke up in the morning, I grabbed this guitar, I think it was, and I started playing a song. She said, "Do the thing where you make up a song." So I started making up this song. Little did I know it was like writing the winning lottery ticket. This song sold 15 million records for Jewel's debut on Atlantic Records. This album was called Pieces of You, and You Were Meant for Me became a #2 single. It just quite couldn't get to #1. It came close, But we recorded it all at Neil Young's ranch, and we got to live there. And Neil let us use his band, the Stray Gators, and I got to be the guitarist with the Stray Gators. And man, that was one of the best experiences because we got to live at Neil Young's ranch. Then he asked Jewel to open for him at Madison Square Garden in New York City before anybody even knew who Jewel was, and she was so nervous backstage. And he comes backstage, Neil Young does, you could picture him with his long pork chop sideburns and his hair all scraggly, and he goes, "How you doing there, Jewel?" And she goes, "Not too good." And he goes, "Why not?" And she says, "'Cause I'm about to open for Neil Young at Madison Square Garden." And then he said to her a best piece of advice that I still use today. He said, "It's just another hash house on the road to success. Show 'em no respect." Which I thought was so beautiful, and you could use that whatever you're doing in life. So we recorded this, and it came up really big on the singles charts, but they redid it but kept my guitar part because they wanted to pop it out more, and they got Flea, this guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, to play bass on it. And so we hung with Flea, he played bass on it, and then little did we know in 1999 Flea would go on right after us at Woodstock 99, the one with the riots. And we got off stage and there was about to be riots, but when we sang "You Were Meant for Me," all the Limp Bizkit dudes had their arms around each other and everybody stopped setting the place on fire. And I said to myself, this song stopped the riot, it cooled everyone down. But we got off stage and I saw Flea and he was getting ready to go on, and he saw me and he goes, "Hey Poltzy, what did you think of my bass part I played on "You Were Meant for Me"? But the only problem is Flea was going on stage naked at Woodstock 99. He didn't even have a sock over his wiener, like normally when the Red Hot Chili Peppers would play. He was all the way naked, and I didn't know where to look when he was talking to me, and Jewel had her arm around me and we're talking to Flea, and I just kept looking down at his wiener. And by the way, people of Fretboard Journal, Flea should not be named Flea. You can see it on Woodstock 99 Trainwreck on Netflix. It's nuts. So they go on stage and all of a sudden you could hear, "What I got to give it to your mama," and the whole place lights up. There's riots. We got the hell out of there, and I was so happy, or I would have been dead and I wouldn't be sitting here right now in Fretboard Journal telling you this long, convoluted story that's now become longer than Alice's Restaurant. So we're gonna get back to the final verse so we can end this song and I can go to lunch. I brush my teeth, I put the cap back on. I know you hate it when I leave the light on. I pick a book up, turn the sheets down. I take a drink and a good look around. I put on my PJs and I hop into bed. I'm half alive, but I feel mostly dead. And I tell myself it'll all be alright. I shouldn't think anymore tonight, 'cause dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. You were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah.